Hello, everyone. This is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. And yet again, I brought on another fantastic group of independent comic book creators. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So please hit like, hit subscribe, share out the video, let everybody know we're here. And without further ado, let's bring on the dude himself.
I love your energy tonight. Wow, brother. Look at the way you came on with that intro, man. Amazing. I wanna vibe off of that. What's up, Streamland? I am JD Rosario from Unstoppable Comics. Been printing books for the last 15 years, and I am happy to be here with everybody tonight.
All right, cool. And let's start bringing on the guests. Mr. Rosario is the co-host. So, I hope he's prepared. We have no co-host tonight, so, we got to...
Yeah, I got one question ready.
All right. Damn, try to come up with a second one, bro.
Come on, man. I don't got all fucking night. I don't got all night, bro.
This is Sam. How are you, sir? Introduce yourself.
Sam Quinton, owner of Sinopa Publishing here in Frankfort, Kentucky, creator of a lot of different role-playing game titles, and then also 47 Furious Tales, Reign of Ages, publisher of Necroholic, and we'll be releasing fourth title, Tibby, and her time-traveling psychedelic mushrooms in 2023.
Nice.
Now, as an add-on, will you have the psychedelic mushrooms available?
No, I'm as a court employee in Kentucky. I'm already pushing my luck far enough just with the title.
Okay. Fair enough.
Hey,
how you doing, Greg? Introduce yourself, sir, please.
I'm Greg Moquin, one half of Nova Comics. Me and my friend Josh Harris, or JR, whatever you want to call him. He's the artist on Mittens, Space Pilot, and we currently have that campaign going on right now. I'll talk about that a little later, but yeah, so we got that going on, and I create a bunch of other comics, and we have a whole platform of a bunch of creators.
Nice. All right, Mr. Rodney, how are you, sir?
Hey, everybody. I'm good. Nice to be on. My name is Rodney Fyke. I am co-owner of Hasm Productions, house of the home of Peanut Pudding and Jelly, Pitter Patter, Unchained, and Roadkill Rampage, which is currently active on Kickstarter, issue 3. And so here I am. Hello.
Okay. Evan, please introduce yourself, sir.
Hi guys, my name is Evan K. Pozios. I'm the writer and co-creator of the Weird War series Time Grunts, the horror title Silence, Cat Lady, and I currently have my newest project on Zoop called Blood Run.
Nice. Mr. Josh, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. My name's Josh. I go by J.R. Harris. I am a freelance illustrator from Michigan. I work over with Greg over at Sierra Nova on Mittens, Space Pilot. And I also work with Lucky 33 Comics doing some fun superhero books and actually some like motor racing books as well.
What's up, Joel? Please.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me, guys. I'm Joel Rodriguez. I'm a letterer primarily, but also a writer. I'm the creator of the Dust County Chronicles, which is on Kickstarter right now.
Ooh, all right, so let's jump right on in it. Check it out. Rosario, take over, right? I'll be back in an hour.
Oh, yeah. Here come the strippers. Who wants to see titties with little comic book tassels? Oh, shot glasses. Guys, I got shot glasses. I'm ready to roll.
There we go.
Jay has shot
Wait,
glasses.
who said they were from Kentucky? Who's in Kentucky?
I'm in Kentucky. The distilleries are about a mile that way.
That's what I like hearing.
I'm literally right in Frankfurt. A mile that way, I hit a distillery. 2 miles that way, I'm in another one. Both instances, I'm arrested for trespassing. So
I'm in Independence, Kentucky.
You're where?
God bless you.
Where are you, Rodney?
Independence.
Oh, hey, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if anybody wants a slice of pizza, I got a couple. I got pizzerias here in Brooklyn down that block, behind me on this block. We get some whiskey, we get some bourbon. That's a party.
That shit right over.
All right, gentlemen. Let's get down to brass tacks.
Ruin the fun.
I'm sorry. We can talk about whiskey and pizza all night.
Yes.
Then eventually it'll digress. It'll devolve into like hot dogs, and cupcakes or something.
Pastrami, man.
Oh, pastrami's great. Best hot dogs though in Chicago. I got to say that. I will admit that. Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's this this curious little joint just off the pier in San Francisco. You know, it looks like it's been shot up a few times. Man, they have a fantastic hot dog.
Makes it extra special.
Their chili will kill you, though. You gotta be careful.
Oh, dude, chili wrecks me. I can't rock with you. Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Before Calderon gets upset, let's talk comic books.
Well, you know,
big guy.
Wild here. All right, all right, genre. Right, let's talk about genre. What's your preferred genre working, and what genre you're looking forward to tackling in the future? Right. Let's start with Mr. Joel.
As a writer, my favorite genre is horror. I like scaring people, doing all the creepy stuff. As a letterer, I'm all over the place. I would say I love doing medieval fantasy. You can also do some creepy stuff with lettering too, so I have fun with that. One that I would love to do in the future, I'm doing a couple of sci-fi books right now, but I would love to do one with some aliens, because alien lettering is always fun.
Nice. Now, you talking about xenomorphs or just general, great people?
General, but xenomorphs would be that much cooler, because that takes everything, brings it together. Aliens and horror, I'm in.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Mr. Josh, you're up.
Well, I mean, realistically, some of my favorite genres are anything, sci-fi or fantasy related. I definitely found myself like striving more. Like once I get in working with those books, it's like I feel like I'm having a lot more fun. But stuff I want to work on, like I got a little taste of horror books in the past couple of years, and I have yet to work like on a full, 20-some page book, and I that's the direction I want to go in and have some fun with that.
Nice. Okay, cool. I'm sorry. Mr. Greg, what genre?
I primarily write superhero comics, but I also really like doing horror a lot. But I really want to do like a fantasy book one day, so like Princess Bride type thing.
Cool. Now, have you ever thought of mixing the genres and doing a superhero horror comic?
Actually, yeah. Technically, years from now, we're gonna do that.
Gotcha. It's on the docket. I know that feeling. Rodney, what's your favorite genre? Because I know you work in a few.
Yeah, I work in a few. I'm gonna say just by default that superhero is and maybe was my favorite for a long time. But with Roadkill Rampage, I'm kind of digging that horror, man. I like creating the page turn-ups and coming up with scenes to scare the shit out of people, and just the lighting and the creepiness and all that stuff. It's just I'm really, really digging it. So yeah, and as far as the future goes, probably a little bit of everything.
All right, cool. Evan, what's your favorite genre?
It's strange. I never grew up a horror fan. I still really don't consume too much in the way of horror pop culture, but my writing has definitely gravitated in that direction. So, I mean, I think, for a lot of writers, whatever struggles you're going through at the time, you're going to sort of pigeonhole into that genre. But definitely, lately all my stuff has been very dark and getting darker. My wife is saying, when are you going to tell a nice story? So I got to sneak one of those in soon.
No, see, you just start nice and then let it shift as it goes. Then you get the best of both worlds.
There you go.
Exactly. All right. Sam.
I guess lately I've been enjoying writing a lot of, anything with swordplay involved has been a really fun thing to do lately. But the one thing I'm really, really looking forward to doing is some near future dystopian fantasy. Been pitching some stuff around. been doing a lot of ghostwriting lately too. A couple of superhero books, a couple of Western books, and those are fun. So I'm just enjoying writing comics in general, I guess.
Cool. Nice. You know, and as far as like ghostwriting goes, man, just tell them to put your name on the book. I don't understand.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean they're paying me pretty well for it, so I just
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I guess if they're paying you.
yeah. So,
Mr. Rosario, what do you got?
I want to say thank you, Sam, for keeping my secrets about the ghostwriting. I appreciate that. You know,
that's what NDAs. That's what NDAs are for, brother. That's what NDAs are for.
I'm with the rest of the group over here. You know what I mean? I definitely like writing horror books. You know, zombie book, New York versus the World. Superhero stuff is my first love. I mean, who doesn't love superhero stuff? It's what we grew up on. It's what we were introduced to begin with. My next release, though, will be my next two releases, two separate titles, will be supernatural action, supernatural thriller. So I'm glad to be diversifying the portfolio like that, my catalog. But I really want to challenge myself and do like a globe hopping adventure, kind of like Indiana Jones, man. I don't know how to tackle it. I don't have anything in the works for it. I just know I want to go that route. I don't know if anybody still has any of the old Indiana Jones comics that came out, but those were fucking awesome, man. You know, and they're always saying, "Oh, we need something else besides superheroes." Okay, well, I'll throw that out there too. You know, I want a nice action global adventure.
All right, cool. All right, sounds fine. Well, for myself, it's fantasy. You know, that's my main thing. But I've done superheroes. I've enjoyed superheroes. That's something I want to get back to. I have a couple titles that I'm working on. But that's pretty much it. What's funny is I've mixed superheroes and horror in the past, and that's probably something I'm going to go back to in this title eventually. But it's like Greg said, that's on the docket. It's a couple years down the road. So we'll see how that works out. Mr. Rosario.
Yes.
You're up, sir. What's your question? Actually, hold on. Let me post these up real quick.
Okay.
So, what is it? Mama Gary says, "Good day, new friends."
Good day.
Hello.
Sending my love and support. Mega shout out, full support for James. Who's James? I don't know James. Does anybody know James? I don't know James. Anyway, Peter
Mr. Bro.
And John says he's from Lexington, Kentucky. There you go.
No, John, Mr. Celestri is from Brooklyn. He lives in Kentucky. But let's get that right. He is first and foremost a Brooklyn boy, right? Okay.
True.
Shit.
Rodney, we're gonna have to get him to come out and see us at a signing sometime in Lex. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude.
Oh, yeah.
A+ Comics, man. I'm sure they'd have us over.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys ready for this question? I'm going to trigger some people right now.
Okay.
All right.
All right, bring it on.
Gonna ruffle some feathers. I recently heard a podcast where a prominent retailer said that stocking independent books in his store is the equivalent of a mercy fuck. Okay.
If that's the only if
words exactly.
Okay, honestly, I think that if that's the only way he can get any, he shouldn't complain. That's my honest opinion. I ship directly to 37 locations right now as far as retailers go.
Okay.
My retailers buy my books because it makes them money. You know, that's
okay.
The long and the short of it.
All right. I just want to know what people feel about that. And Sam, let's keep going. Who's next? Evan?
Yeah, I mean, I think if he's in or he or she's in the comic book business, you never really want to insult, anything, in the industry. Really, I mean, people's livelihoods depend on it. People work very hard on these projects. I mean, originally, way back when, the big two could almost be considered, indie publishers. I mean, it's very out of the box, to publish, comic books. So I think it's obviously way off base.
Yeah.
So I don't know anyone like Jay who would think that diversifying your portfolio is a bad thing. There are plenty of stores that only stock the big two, but I mean, does he consider Image indie? Because that's entirely how they started. They were the king of indie for a very long time. So if he has any Image books on his shelves, he should probably rethink what he's saying.
It seems like it comes from a lack of knowledge, or just, he either chooses not to look into indie books, just expects them to be, little BS projects, or he just really doesn't know what kind of good quality stuff is out there.
Yeah, I would echo that, because I'll spend time in the store looking at only indie books, and the image is just, or the quality is just outstanding. And to each his own. I've talked to store owners who have no interest in supporting Kickstarters, and that's fine. That's all good and well. But that part of my job, our job, is to, when we're at conventions, is to go, converse with the people that own brick and mortars, or even, on the internet, and find them and get the books out there and sell them at the shows too. So, if that's what you choose to do, then you're, narrow-sighted, because there's a lot of good stuff out there, and the people aren't coming in anymore looking just for Marvel or DC, because they watch something on TV, whether it's on Netflix or Hulu, and it goes based on the comic published by so and so and so and so. So people that I know that don't read comics are like, holy shit! They'll call or they'll text me and say, I didn't know that was a comic book. Mm-hmm. So that's been a huge thing too. So,
Yeah. Greg, you're up, kid.
Yeah. When I go into a comic book store, I don't even look for like Marvel or DC or Dark Horse, or I look for like mostly people that I know that make comics. And I went to this one store in Vermont when I was there for like my friend's birthday or whatever weekend, and there was like White Ash. There's a bunch of ones. There's a bunch of comics that I knew people that did them, and I'm like, oh, well, that's awesome. So for someone to say that is just stupid.
Right. For myself, the way I look at it is like this: as a business, if you pay attention to the business, right? Independent comics, it's 30% of the field, right? So if you chop off 30% of your business, that's a huge amount of money. I mean, 70% is Marvel and DC. That's fine. That's their space. But independent still 30%, man. That's a decent amount of money. Even if you're talking about $100,000, that's $30,000. I don't know about you. I can use that extra kind of money, and I'm pretty sure that retailer can too. It's just he's not investing his time and energy to find the good indies out there and put them in his store. Because there's going to be stuff that people don't want. There's going to be stuff that people don't want to ignore. But you have to go through the catalog and look. And if you're not going to do that, what are you going to do? Hold on. Let me just put. Edward says hello from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Nice.
Hey, more Michigan.
And this person has obviously received a few mercy ones. I don't even have Marvel DC anymore. That's like many of us, right? Look at the big hit shows. The Boys, The Walking Dead, etc. They don't happen without indie fans that love the indie books. So there you go.
Okay.
Mr. Rosario, what are your thoughts?
All right, so I want to add a little bit more on who this retailer is. I'm not going to say his name, but he is a big number cruncher. He does have a very prominent column that a lot of people follow. He is not.
What was his name again?
I'm not gonna plug the name. But he was talking about some of his numbers, right? And I know you brought up 30%. He was talking about like Image, for example, with the current price break on Diamond, he is making 4% per periodical. Now that freaked me out for a second because from what I understand in business, no business can survive on a less than 20% margin. So if he's making 4% per periodical, I really don't know how he's doing.
Now, how does that even work? Because when you get it for Diamond, it's 50% off. So I mean, are we talking about gross? Are we talking about
He didn't
We're
mention
talking-
whether it was gross or net.
Right.
He was talking about the current price breaks and the new shipping policies from Diamond,
Right.
and how shipping, it's not even itemized as to how much they charge per line item on shipping. Is just one bulk shipping price, and then he's wrapping that all up into everything and then dividing it by all the units that he received that week. But anyways, going back to answering the question, I feel that independent comic books, we're the innovators. Other people follow or look to us to see what's new, what can be done, what areas haven't been explored, or even how to present new concepts. And we need to be on those shelves because, yes, is there a large gap between Ninja Turtles and Bone and whatever's come after that? Of course there is. And I'm not talking about Dark Horse. I'm not talking about Image. I'm talking about the bootstrappers like us who, have the couple pennies they got left in their pocket and saying, "Let me take a shot at this." Right? Ninja Turtles was Mirage. They were their own outset. Jeff Smith was, cartoon books. That was his own money in his own pocket. We're out there, and if we don't have places such as these communal shops where we can be found from those who are coming in to explore to look for something different, then where the fuck are people going to find us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just really curious where he's getting 4% from. But
see, here's the thing that I think this gentleman needs to look at them, because like the shops that I supply, they have a 50% discount basically across. Now their minimum order is a certain number of books, but at that threshold, shipping's included. So they're doubling their money on the shipments that they're getting from Sinopa.
Right, from shipping from where? From like Penguin or from DCBS? Excuse me, Lunar.
Nope, I ship it to them directly.
Oh, you ship it to them? Yeah.
I ship it to them directly.
Yeah,
50%. Boom. So if you're doing 25 books or more, there you go. Your shipping's included. Now my margins are smaller, but the funny thing that happens is that when you have books, shops are saying, "Hey, I've got $250 on this book, I'm selling for $5, or if I've got it signed or something, maybe I'm selling it for $6 or whatever." I'm going to push that book because I'm doubling my money. And so whether it's the collective, they've sold 110 copies of 47 Furious Tales issue 1 at that one location.
Very nice.
I couldn't begin to tell you how many the box in Leesville has sold. My last shipment to them was 180 books. So I mean, it's one of those things where they just if you're dealing with people who understand that there's money to be made by showing people some of these great books and stuff. And then the other thing too that's been really good for me lately is working with Adam Watson in Comics Mainstream Distribution out in Oregon. And so they've got stuff on spinner racks in locations like a lot of different locations: toy stores, bookstores, marijuana dispensaries, stuff like that. I just got a check 2 days ago, not check, a PayPal payment rather, from them from sales from the month of June. So every month like clockwork, easy as falling off a log. And more people finding more new and exciting ways to move books. You've got people picking up vending machines for comics and old manga machines and finding spaces to put those up. And I think you're going to see a lot more people just finding a way to get to market, because let's face it, the Diamond has to make their money, they have to make their cut, but it's not making much sense anymore for a lot of people, and it's really hurting the retailers. So if you get to the shops you can get into, and you get in the grocery stores or wherever else you can get into and make it happen. So
I love that. Anybody else want to cap something on this? No? Oh, all right.
In other words, he's barely breaking even when you consider he has to pay for his loving. There you go.
I'll tell you what. You tell your columnist buddy if he wants to give Indies a try, I'll hook him up with a box of 25 books, and he pays the regular retailer rate, and he'll flip those in no time.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weird things. So, Jay, what was that guy's name again?
I'll tell everybody after, if we stick on once the show's over. I will let everybody know who it is. No problem.
I got to try, right?
Yeah. It's all right.
All right. So I saw this up online. This is from the mind of Damian Walburn. What's up, Damian? I don't know if you're watching, but I'm stealing your question. Uh, why do you really make comics? Right? I mean, it's a real basic question, but I think it's interesting. So let's start off with Josh.
This question actually comes up a lot with like friends and family and people are interested in what I do, and I think like honestly the main reason is just to tell stories in an interesting way, because like as an artist, like if I wasn't able to show people my art, like if I was just like on a stranded island and like I had art to do, I don't think I'd do comics. I'd probably do like crazy murals or something, who knows. But comics to me are all about sharing it with people and telling stories to people. So like that's like the motivation to explore worlds and come up with cool ideas, but also then to put it in the hands of people and see how they react and see what they're thinking about it. And that's truly to me where that's at.
Greg, you're
up. Everything he just said. Well, I hate my job, mostly just because of the hours I work. I work an overnight security job, which I do nothing at. So the only good thing about the job is I can write when I'm there.
Nice.
I love writing, and I just want to show people what is in my head, because I have so many stories, and like I said before, I have plans in the future, it's all mapped out. So I just want to tell crazy stories and see who connects with them while having fun doing it. So.
Cool. Rodney?
I just love telling stories. I love creating characters. I love creating scenarios, motives. I just made a pitch to somebody about an hour ago. Just wrote up a synopsis of a character. I'm just creative. My brain doesn't shut off ever. I've got all these characters, and you talk to my wife, and she'll talk about me over in the corner by myself talking to somebody, and she'll just look at me and say, "Are they talking to you again?" And I was like, "Yeah." Who is it this time? It never shuts off. I just love to create, whether it's drawing, writing, coloring, inking, whatever. I got to be doing something. I just love it. I just love the medium. I've loved it since I was cognizant enough to realize what it was and realize that I could do it. And since then, I've just been no good to anybody.
Oh,
Evan, what do you got, sir?
I think there's a few things, but I mean, first and foremost, you have to have some sort of burning emotion inside of you to tell some sort of story that you just have to get out there. I think also, the challenge of telling a visually compelling story and improving with each project is very important. And also, I mean, there's a thrill of getting that page, that interior page that you scripted, and seeing it as sort of like Christmas Day every time you get one. So I think those are the main elements. We don't, definitely, all of us can probably say we don't do this for the money. We do it because we have to.
True. Mr. Sam?
well, I was gonna try and rip a joke on this one, but it's such a serious question. The truth is that I too love to create, and making comics is part of the sum circle of everything I want to be doing. There's a few other things there I need to fill in still, but yeah, I love the way the whole world seems to slow down for a moment when you first open a box from that first press run from the new product line. And I like the thrill of seeing how the pages come from pencils to inks to colors, and that final touches when the lettering's on there. I love the look on people's faces when you put a new book in their hands, whether it's a comic, an RPG, a novel, or whatever, and they get that glint of excitement in their eye, And then the sarcastic son of a bitch in me says, "Of course I do it for the fame, the money, and the women."
My man.
And of course, having no fame, money, or women, you can understand the old single guy with single dad syndrome over here. Yeah, the whole thing though is just a wonderful process. Now I like the people I work with. I happen to work with a great many really fantastic professionals who just make the job such a joy. And I get to meet great people. I've met Greg before, and I'll just toot his horn a little bit here. I've read several Sierra Nova comics over the last couple of years, and when Greg says he writes superheroes, Greg writes superheroes. Okay, I mean,
Nice.
like he puts it down, dude. So I understand the modesty, Greg, but come on, brother, you do good work. And that's I won't blow him up too much, but yeah, he does good work for it. But it's a wonderful medium to work in.
Nice. Joel?
So when I started as a writer, like everyone, I wanted to tell stories, had a bunch of things in my head, and I loved the feeling of releasing that story, pretty much echoing what everyone has said so far. But when I found out through practice and exposure that I was fairly decent at lettering and good at it as the years have progressed, I found an even greater joy in being able to help other people tell their stories. So I think that's my favorite part about my career, is being on the receiving end, or being on the other side when I send in a final page and I know that my client has that Christmas feel. Because I started with that, I know how fantastic it is, and I love being able to contribute in some way to help everyone fulfill their dream.
Cool. All right, hold on. Let me put a couple of these up. I made comments because I don't know anybody.
Smart woman.
I have too many characters living in my head rent free, and I need to evict them onto paper.
Great way to put that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Rosario.
Dude, I'm a dreamer. You know, the comic books have been my whole fucking life, dude. Yeah, I grew up poor, right? I mean, like fucking poor as shit. You know, Cobra Commander was pretty much my only toy, and he was Captain America, Spider-Man, Superman, fucking you name it. There you go, man. You know, and you know, I couldn't afford a lot of shit, so it was always, you know, these characters like Daphne said, running around in my fucking head. And I'm just trying to make sense of the fucking dreams that I had, you know. And then on top of that, I feel like, you know, that image where there's the two guys in a mine and one keeps fucking digging and that gemstone is right there, and the other one, he's given up and he's walking away and he's even closer to that gemstone. You ever seen that image?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. I don't want to be that guy who walks away because he's so fucking close. Right. You know, Evan said it. Could I have fucking made money doing anything else in my life? Yeah, man. Fuck yeah. With the amount of research and putting a book together, a financial plan together, I could have fucking done a ton of other shit, right? But I chose to fail miserably here in comic books. And there's a beauty in that, right? Everybody loves the underdog story, and right now we're the fucking underdogs. And whenever you're fighting from the back foot, you fight even harder. So that's it, you know. Do I get to meet a lot of fucking people? Hell yeah, man. You know, now the cons are starting to come back and people are more welcome to go into them. You know, I mean, I hope to see some of you guys, you know, and some of the ladies that are watching this and some of these shows, just to fucking chew the fat, you know, because we were restricted way back when. We not just prior to the pandemic, we were restricted meeting other people, right? This was like a huge gate-kept society. The ways to break it in were not. There's no fucking school for this, right? Even the Kubert school. If you weren't a fucking artist, there was. What were you gonna do, right? And I know it sounds. I'm all over the fucking place. But there's this romantic beauty to fucking doing this shit, man. You know, we're the fucking lovable losers who are scraping by to put these books together that are pretty much passion projects, and happy if we break even, right? Breaking even is that's 100% win for everybody. If you're making money, woo, you know, if you're making money, surf and turf, maybe split between 4 people, but surf and fucking turf, right? And where the fuck else can you do this? You know, other than succeed in France. But where the fuck else can you do this, man? Right? We were born in the wrong country because Angoulême really treats their people fucking well over there.
Well, the comic book creators over there, yeah, they do get treated. I guess to answer my own question, I mean, listen, if like from early on, like, you know, I knew nothing. I knew I was a really good liar. So yeah, I just, you know, put it on some characters and just kept on lying. I started at a very early age and just kept doing it. And it's my passion. I've been self-publishing since '92. You know.
You old motherfucker.
I'm an old motherfucker. You know, but the one good thing is that I started early. You know, that's the one thing. I started early. I was 17 years old. My crew were all 17, 18, 19. I have some were 15, you know, years old, working with some awesome artists. They went on to do a bunch of other things. You know, some work professionally. Some of them are still in the business. Some of them went on to do like online graphics and fucking movies. One guy went on to be what is that? A medical illustrator. So he draws bones for a living. But yeah, I mean, you know, and the amount of people that I've met has been great. And Jay is right, man. I mean, if you're breaking even, great. If you're making money, even better. But you know, it's a tough business, man. And you know, it's fun. It's fun. Like I said, my very expensive hobby. You know. So, Mr. Rosario, you're up again.
Bro, we are. Yeah, I got another question, but this may top us out. Coach, we're bleeding through this. You got 8 people, and it's, you know, half hour in. We've already answered 3 fucking questions. We're going to slow shit down. Guys, take your time. Think about stuff. You know what I mean?
Muffle it over.
All right. The independent toy community has a huge help from retail stores supporting their crowdfunding projects. All right. It has been said that some of these stores can account for close to 20% of the funding for whatever toy line they're coming up with. This is coming from 3 people that I've spoke to in that tour area. How is it that as comic book creators, right, with crowdfunders, we can't get more stores to jump into our projects from the outset?
Okay.
What do you think we need to do to make that happen? That's the question.
All right, let's start with Greg.
I'm not so puzzled yet. Just give a free toy. No, I don't know. I don't really have any experience with like retailers yet.
Okay.
I was supposed to do a retail tier on Mittens and I forgot. So I can still do it. It was like 18 days. But yeah, I don't know. Really.
Okay.
So yeah, don't know.
All right, so look, it's a learning situation for Greg. Rodney, what do you got?
I think it's just proven to them that you're a viable commodity. Like Greg, I have no experience with the toy end of it. I'd be thankful if, you know, the comics, you know, are making money, but you have to convince them. You know, like we're on Roadkill 3. That's our 4th Kickstarter in 2 years. And you know, now we know, and I say we, I really mean my wife, knows how to do Kickstarter now with her eyes closed. You know, so it's just publishing consistently, and sometimes we have no control over that if we're not drawing it ourselves. But yeah, it's proving that you have a product that everybody likes, that's going to sell, and 2. Well, being likable, being personable, because that sells as well. And then just consistency in production, putting stuff out. So, what else? I mean, what else could they want? You know, other than you giving them product. You know.
Evan, any thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, once you set aside the value you get from actually creating the book and start looking at money, I mean, there's a few things you have to look at. You know, are you trying to actually, you know, monetize your sales of your products, or are you looking for something larger down the line, trying to hit the home run with, you know, some sort of multimedia licensing? So, you know, there are some benefits, definitely going the traditional publishing route if you're with a publisher who has those connections in different, you know, areas, whether it be video games, movies, TV, what have you. And then retail wise, I mean, you know, for what we do, you know, it's sort of like people are looking online more than brick and mortar. I mean, in my opinion, I think Zoop is really, you know, on the right track. You know, focusing strictly on comics. You know, they definitely vet all the projects that come in strenuously. You know, they're putting out some great projects with a couple big names. So I think that's sort of the future. You know, it's like, you know, when you see a Kickstarter and you get that sort of arbitrary, you know, project we love tag with Zoop. They're all projects they love. You know, from the get go. There's no garbage on there. You know, so I think that's definitely the future for indie creators.
Okay.
Sam, what are you thinking?
Well, I can't speak to toys, but I can speak to role-playing games and comics. So,
Okay.
The first efforts to get into shops were very slow, very arduous, and you get told no 9 times out of 10, right? And the key thing on that is to keep hitting and keep striving and keep putting your book in front of people to show them that the book is a viable commodity. We got a big break with a couple of stores coming on in addition to the 2 or 3 that we had prior to the pandemic. And then when the pandemic hit, we were able to reach out to stores and saw them much more willing, because at the time, when we put a lot of these guys on, they had a problem with Diamond not shipping. They couldn't get Marvel and DC books, and they had to have books to move through the store. And so we added, of the 37 stores we're shipping, so 37 store locations we're shipping to right now, I think we added about 20 in like 4 months.
Nice.
And then as shipping from Diamond resumed, that started to slow down a little bit. But we were at 36 until 2 weeks ago. We just added another one. I've got conversations with more retailers this week. And the big thing that's helped facilitate that, of course, is being able to put like the digital versions and the print versions in front of folks, having the merchandise on hand that I can send a sample product to them. This is what the merchandise looks like. This is how it ships. Presentation, I try to do the absolute best I can to make sure the books are you know, fantastic shape. And I ship everything in a way that's conducive to the shops receiving them, just being able to scan them and put them on the shelf. The big thing that I get here lately as well, you know, the economy's slumping down, and how do we know that more books are coming out because you crowdfund your books? I said, well, you know, I've done 19 crowdfunding campaigns since 2017. And yeah, I've had 19, I think, successful ones, and I've had like 5, I think, that have failed, including the first attempt at every try of 47 Furious Tales. All 3 issues failed the first time, then funded them the second. That's getting old real fast. But being able to take and now put books up and, you know, have people come back and say, oh, we got another comic from Sonopa and Sam and them. And I think that helps a lot to have such a strong community on Kickstarter coming out and doing that, and then bringing that enthusiasm to the retailers. Now, we do see a little bit of a kind of 2 camps on the idea of supporting Kickstarters. When we look later at campaigns, you'll see that on the Reign of Ages campaign, we have supporting retailer tiers that are actually unique to the stores. They're named for the stores. They're one-shot pledge tiers. The store's logo is on the page. It links to their website or their social media. These are stores that we have very particular orders for, whether it's Brute Squad, who needed a couple of copies of issue 1 of 47, a couple of copies of issue 3, a little bit of Necroholic, and, you know, 10 or so, or whatever the order was for Reign. being able to custom fill that, and then whenever someone comes onto the page and they're scrolling through it, like, oh hey, Brute Squad's my home store, I can just pick it up there. And so by being able to support the retailers in that direction, we also build value for our product further on down the line, making sure that when we're posting about the products and saying, hey, you know, we have this on Kickstarter. If you happen to shop at Third Eye Comics in any of their 7 locations, you can just go down there and pick up 47 Furious Tales or Necroholic. Well, Necroholic not yet because it's still coming in from the printer, but you know, you get the idea. That has gone a long way towards helping to show our retailers that we're supporting them as much as they're supporting us. And again, addressing the margins shipping to retailers are fairly small for you as the creator, but they're still going to be larger than what you're going to see if you're having to wait and put your stuff in through Diamond or other distribution. It also frees up the cadence of the flow of the capital, because when I have an order from a retailer, they pay the invoice, I ship the next business day. That money flows and goes into the next product that we're working on.
Sam, let me ask you a question. When you ship to them, are you shipping to them priority, flat rate, or are you shipping them media mail so you could save a couple bucks on the back end?
No, shipping media mail would be absolutely cataclysmic here. Our postmaster is very firmly stringent that comics don't get shipped media mail. And so
really,
I have been told already, if anything that I ship media mail is going to be inspected. And so I've never shipped comics by media mail. Now I ship role-playing game books by media mail because that falls in an entirely separate category.
Is it because he thinks there's advertisements? Because that's the only thing that would restrict it from being media mail.
And we don't have advertisements in like 47 Furious Tales, and we don't have them in Necroholic. But after 5 conversations showing my postmaster that we don't have ads in them, I went ahead and put ads in Rain because I was shipping first class anyway. And so I just put ads in there supporting other titles from other creators to try and introduce people to other indies. But I usually ship flat rate priority so that they can get there quickly. And like I said, it's a very economical means of shipping, usually up to about $30 at a time. And then for like larger items, say like 11 by 17 prints or something like that, we ship those flat in USPS board game boxes with, actually I was working on some earlier, with our own custom mailer packed on the inside of it for extra protection. And then if we have like a really substantive order, like if we're shipping to Third Eye because they have 7 locations, or if we're shipping to the box in Leesville because they not only stock themselves, but they also provide titles to 2 other stores that are in the region. And so we might ship 150 or 180 or 200 books. Those we get the big, heavy reinforced mailers from the big, I think they're 28 inches by 28 inches or something like that from USPS, and end up shipping that 3-day ground on UPS. And you're going to run like $60 on that to ship 200 books or something. So it's not inconsequential, but that's with like the insurance on it, and they have handled all those shipments really well for us.
Okay, cool. So Sam, when does phase 2 start? When are you starting a distribution company?
I'm probably not going to start a distribution company. The logistics of it are painful, and the equipment's painful. But when we get to the point where I can't do fulfillment in a week, then I'll hire someone to come in during fulfillment weekends and help me out. And then, if we ever get to something where we're doing, 5,000 or 10,000 or something like that, then at that point it's probably time to quit the day job with the courts and, get the warehouse space. But in the meantime, for any of the larger shipments, we're going to start shipping the stuff in a little different way. Because like I said, we got 2 camps. We got the ones who pledge on the campaign with their information on there, and then we've got the guys who pre-order behind that off camera kind of. And one of the reasons for that is we had some people say that they didn't really feel comfortable showing everyone that they were supporting Kickstarter because they felt they might get bombarded by pitches from people. And I'm not going to argue with a client about that, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, because I don't know, and they're my client. I'm not their angel or devil on their shoulder. So like 47 Furious Tales issue 3 is a good example. We had $740 in pre-orders outside the Kickstarter from retailers. And so the difference between those shipments was really straightforward. Those shipments shipped directly from the printer, and the ones who were on the Kickstarter got all the Kickstarter extras with theirs when I shipped it from here. So from the printer, they didn't have any signed books. They also, very low profile, and they got them I think the same week that everyone else got them, really, because we packed that and packed it out like in a day and a half.
Nice.
Nice. Joel, what are you thinking?
So with the toy conversation, it's important to realize that we're fighting an uphill battle when comparing ourselves to toys. Mainly when you look at the shelf life. With comics in general, they, like, even the big two, you've got a 1 week shelf life. People are accustomed to coming in on Wednesday, finding the newest thing, and then moving on. With indie books, we have a bit longer of a shelf life because we personally sell our books, but all in all, if the book doesn't sell, it gets stuck in a box, and then who knows if anyone's going to sift through the box and eventually find it. Now you take that and you compare it to a toy. It could be anyone from a kid finding a toy to a grandma just stumbling through trying to find a gift for their grandkid. No idea what it is, just pick it up and get it. And that's a lot easier to pitch to a store. So kind of echoing what Sam was saying, it's making sure that we are able to stand out for the retailers. We're able to not only pitch our product, but pitch our support for the product so that when they buy from us, they're not buying something that is going to be stuck taking up space in a box in a week. It's something that they can feel comfortable pushing because we have the quality, we tell good stories, we have a proven track record of fulfilling and showing up so that we combat that uphill battle and prove that we deserve that shelf space as opposed to the toy who anyone can pick up.
Okay.
Cool. Josh, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of with some of the guys here. I don't really have too much experience with toys necessarily, but as far as like the retail, I like what kind of Sam and Joel and everyone was mentioning about like the relationships. With like the retailer relationship is a really important thing, and something that I see a lot of indie people who are not the business type who it's the best advice I would say on that kind of world is getting someone that can like help you negotiate stuff and like I would say a little bit too is being honest with yourself. If you're not a business person or a business negotiator type person, finding someone who you trust in, a friend or someone who can help you either understand it or communicate with like retailer. And I feel like that speaks for comics and toys and anything really is not everyone's the perfect business mind person, and there's nothing wrong with trying to find someone that is.
All right, cool. I'm going to put up some of these stuff in the chat. There's a lot of them. Well, there's a few of them. Edward says, do you ever think we might see an indie cinematic universe? Imagine if indies do what DC and Marvel won't do, combine characters, make movies. That would be my ultimate dream come true. Impossible, maybe, but what are your thoughts? Well, real quick, a lot of egos. A lot of egos. A lot of egos. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here, if we were to combine all our egos, it would take up most of the planet. So, it's just what it is. We're all creators and we all have big dreams, and, it just is what it is. Unfortunately, it would be very difficult. I mean, like, extremely difficult. Daphne says, retailers too busy worried about their pretty fucks, it seems.
Yeah.
He says, I'm still salty over the retailers in the entire Triborough area who didn't want to talk to me unless our comics were listed in Diamond. If it's not easy for them, they don't bother. Wilson says, hey, what's up, Wilson? Diamond already taught us to work around them. Retailers are only reinforcing that lesson. The more books I can sell through Kickstarter, the less I'm concerned about retailers selling my book. We have yet to have problems with shipping comics media mail, but then I'm always on the lookout for those special clerks who are nosier than usual.
True.
Right. I've avoided certain post offices because of Snoopy clerks. There you go.
I've experienced that myself. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess there's some that are just more Snoopy than others. I don't know. We've also found what's funny is UPS. Sometimes their shipping is actually cheaper than media mail in certain instances. You just got to really research it. So we've been going that route.
I'll tell you, I had a fun experience with the not 2 campaigns ago. I was doing fulfillment, and I looked down at the list, and the address was right here in Frankfurt. It was on my street, and I looked at the house number and realized it was my neighbor 2 doors down and or three doors down.
Oh wow!
On the right hand side. So I boxed it up and walked down there, and I'm like, "I got your stuff." He's like, "Dude, there's no way you can do all these yourself." I'm like, "No, man, I actually just live up the street." It's like, what the hell? So.
Like Santa Claus.
So
yeah,
it was wild.
I've done that a few times to people in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Nice. You didn't get shot?
You could have seen how long you could keep that going.
There's a story right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, as far as getting more retailers involved, I mean, it's just difficult because they have their concerns, right? And it's usually time.
Yep.
Right. It's a lot of Kickstarter campaigns. I go through the previews catalog every month. I sit there, I'll flip through it 2 or 3 times as I'm watching, as I'm eating and watching TV, doing everything at the same time, but flipping through this damn thing. And it's just to get a sense of what's going on in the business still, what type of books are out there, whatever, and also what I'm going to order for the month because I'm a degenerate. So it's one of these things where it's just like, trying to convince them. It's like I said, it's an 80-20 rule, right? You're going to get 80% of your orders from 20% of what's in the market. So I think that's what we need to focus on, is focus on that 20% of retailers that really want us, and it's just building those lists. Marvin, right? Fantastic. Shares out
Marvin
his
is
list.
Great. Yeah.
Always, trying to get everybody to add to that list, because he has a retailer list of 200 retailers on there that have ordered books from him and are continuously ordering books from him. Doing the same thing that Sam is doing. So I mean, it's one of those things to share that information and try to get more people to do it.
Yeah. Get that list from Heroinberg and all that. Yeah, and go ahead. And it's even with that list, you can call 10 of them and get one of them to say yeah, sure.
Right.
But that's a brand new location, and I'll tell you what's really great, guys. If you can work your math and work your press runs so that you have your economy of scale. And even if it's only making like $5 or $10 a box of books when you ship them, if your retailer customer is doubling their money on your books, they're going to come back for more. And that's because they need to make money just as much as you and I do. I go back to the collective. Like I said, they've sold over 110 copies of 47 Fury Sales issue 1. That's over like 7 different orders. Every time I ship something, like we need more copies.
Where's that store based out of?
That's Altamonte Springs, Florida.
Okay.
That's actually my home store.
Oh,
look at that.
Yep.
Cool. Really? Well then.
Yeah, I know Danny and all the guys over there. That's a great store.
So yeah, we were the first book on the collective initiative for 47 Furious Tales. Yep.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I lettered a story in that.
The actual original one. Yep.
That's cool.
And you did the collective. What is it? The collective project where they did
their anthology.
Anthology. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's fine.
Rosario, answer your question, sir.
I was coming into this with one thing, but I'm all over the fucking place after hearing what some of the guys said, after hearing even what Daphne said, and I still side with Daphne. I still lean with her opinions because I come from a retail sales background. I was a beer vendor for a while here in New York, and I used to sell beer into supermarkets, and sometimes pushing the shittier beers was the harder task, but we still had to do it. And I figured, if I know how to do that with great big retail supermarkets, selling my books into comic shops, it's going to be a fucking breeze. And it wasn't. And I understood that, these were 2 different types of retail environments. And even though, they're still shops, they're still stores, they're still selling product, they operate 2 totally different fucking ways. You've got supermarkets who deal with multiple vendors. And then you've got comic shops who they only wanted to deal with one, right? And
Mhm.
a lot of that saltiness still stays with me, right? And I came to a point where that's another hat right now that I don't have time to wear. So bless you, Sam, for being able to move that much product outside of your crowdfunding campaigns.
Yep.
I don't have the time right now to do that and create or expand the catalog that I have.
Right.
I was looking more for answers than anything else.
Well,
That's what we're here for, brother.
I make 5 telephone calls a day on the days that I call retailers. I call
Okay.
on Mondays. I call on usually Tuesday at lunchtime because I don't want to catch them while they're processing their diamond order. Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Okay.
I skip Wednesdays for new comic
Yeah.
book day because no one has time for that at all.
Yeah.
And so I get 25 calls in, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, and I get a lot of no's, and then I get a couple of yeses. And whenever I have a new book coming out, I go to the shops that are carrying this, I call them and say, hey, we've got this, this, and this. Like, hey, and usually the answer is, hey, send me the PDF, I want to check that out. And while we got you on the phone, we're out of this, this, and this. Can we get 10, 15, 5, whatever the copies
Nice.
are? So like Joel, when you go to the collective, you see there's 47 Furious Tales stays in stock because we keep shipping stuff to them. Reign of Ages stays in stock, and Necroholic will be shipping as soon as it gets here from the printer. So printer drama. God save us all from printer drama.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I mean, it's just one more job on top of the day job and being the single dad.
There you go, baby.
Nice. All right.
Oh yeah, Reign.
There you go, Rain.
Yep,
Nice.
Reign of Ages. Issues 1 and 2. We put out issue 1 earlier this year, and issue 2 is done. I was actually just finishing up formatting the interior pages for the printers
Nice.
right before we started, so we're ready to roll and order. I might actually order the books next week because I'm thinking we're probably going to fund somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000 by the time we're done. Our goal is, of course, 5, and we are. Hey, Larry, what's up, man? And we are, pushing pretty steadily towards that. The weird thing is this campaign has had more activity on it than any of my preceding comic campaigns. So we've got 231 people who have saved this campaign that haven't pledged yet. And I usually finish somewhere between 25 and 35% conversion for comics.
That's a good number, man.
So yeah,
Shit.
and so that's a lot of activity for those last couple of days. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to get crossed over to the finish line. Probably in the next, we got 10 days left, so probably by Friday of this coming week if we can. Quick moment to celebrate. This cover is by Aisha Gul Senev. She's the main cover artist for this series. Kubert School graduate, close friend of basically everyone on this project. She's done work on 47 Furious Tales and on Dungeons and Dames art book collection for last year. Absolutely magnificent artist. She currently lives in Turkey. And if you need a cover that is absolutely gorgeous, she can definitely make it happen. Just got to make sure you fit into her current production schedule, which is a little tricky sometimes. We have, of course, we've got that in the cover and then also in art prints as well. And then Virgin Variant by Nick Capone, who's our interior artist as well and my co-creator on this IP. He's done nothing but beautiful work on Reign since we started this project last year. And this is just another good example of the work he's putting out. Absolutely stunning levels of detail all the way around. And then we commissioned a variant by Justin Hunt. And Justin's a friend of Nick's. Nick went ahead and colored this for them. And this came together so quickly. It was literally, hey, pencils. And then the next day, hey, inks are done. And then like 7 days later, I had the TIFF file in my work folder. Just absolutely tremendous cadence for these guys. And of course, this is a black and white book. The series is scheduled to remain black and white unless we, start seeing, 5-figure campaigns, 10,000 plus or whatever. But it's got this beautiful kind of 90s manga, manga cross heavy metal vibe with the art style for it. Just really sharp work by Nick Capone. He's turned these pages time and time again to make them just beautiful pieces of their own. And we did have a weird thing that kind of happened this time. We had one of our backers posted a comment asking about an NSFW cover, which we have never done. And then I had about a dozen messages in the back that came up from the message, and other people asking if we could do that. And so we went ahead and put one together with the artist Christian Martinez, and then colored by Nick. And all of those guys pledged for it. And then we've gotten several more, and that's our NSFW cover, which we're basically just printing enough for the comps and the backer rewards, and that's it.
Cool.
And then, yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful book. We're really proud of this, too. This is a sword and sorcery, bad girl comic with a lot of adventure, swinging swords, slinging spells, and slaying monsters. Nice. The whole thing is just coming together really, really nicely. We've got Alexia Veldhausen doing the editing. Nick, of course, is doing interiors and coloring almost every cover we have. And just turning out great work. This week, I'll be turning in the script for Alexia to start editing book 3, and Nick will start penciling and inking book 3 the following week thereafter. So we'll be ready for issue 3, probably in November this year.
Cool. Mm-hmm. And I see you have all the other books available as well.
We do. Add-ons are available in the background, which have been really good for this campaign. 47 Furious Tales, Necroholic, and then, of course, some really cool add-ons. For our previous art prints. And then the button sets are done. The 11 by 17 inch art prints of the cover art, that's done. And then these, actually you'll get a kick out of this. These, I always test everything before I make them available. I should have unpacked these knowing that I was going to be on, but let me grab this real quick. I get these done through Printful, and for fulfillment, that's great, guys, because they've got facilities in Canada, the EU, the UK, Australia, and so you're not looking at like $40 for shipment per item. But that is the
it's beautiful.
47 Furious Tales original inked art that was done by brush and hand by Alexia Veldhausen from 47 Furious Tales issue 1. And then that's the Reign of Ages Rain mug that we've got here with art by Samaria Sam and colors by Nick Capone. Nice. And then the big seller among the 3 mugs so far has actually been the manga style Rain mug. If I can get this not to blur too bad.
That's cool.
By
I like that.
Dan Donnelly. And that's been a really, really good add-on for us on this one. I didn't expect us to have as many of them added on, but it's gonna be nice and simple to get that fulfillment rolling. Again, that's just because Printful has a really nice way of working their interface and getting your order out, so should be smooth as anything else that goes out. And our supporting retailers, and all of those images are linked to their social media or to their web stores. So, like, if you click on Cowabunga Comics, it goes to their website.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the cow.
Yeah, that's Kyle's. I forget what Kyle's last name is. I think it's Willis. But he's a really nice guy. Also a comic creator himself. He does a lot of great work.
Cool. It looks good, man. I mean, you're well on your way.
Yep, 10 days left. Need about $1,280 left to reach goal. Hoping that we're going to see about 250 backers maybe by the end of the campaign, I hope. That would be a new record for a Kickstarter of mine. I'm going to be the first person to tell you guys, my Kickstarters never fund hugely. If you look at the price points, you can see why. My price points are very high.
I'm right there with you. I'm not a big funder either.
Yeah.
I make most of my actual money after the Kickstarter when we sell through stores and through events and such and online sales. But this actually gets the stuff made, and that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I mean, I've stopped worrying about money. That's what I've done. I just don't worry about money anymore.
Single dad broke is all kinds of broke, so I always have to worry about the money. But
I got you.
But yeah, thankfully we've like I said, we've had a lot of support from our retailers, and
Nice.
even with a small margin, it's still very. I feel very very fortunate to, when I get to ship stuff out and see pictures on their Instagram about hey, this is what's going on and this is where people are doing, and hey, we're out of these, can we get more?
Gotcha. All right, sounds good, man. Listen, you're gonna make it. So
Hmm.
I mean, that's incredible. Wait, we got Evan, Blood Run.
Yeah, so we decided to give Zoop a try. They're brand new in the crowdfunding area. They're comics specific. We really liked a lot of the things they had to say. They did some excellent pre-launch consulting. They wanted to see pages. They wanted to know a lot of social media information. And also, they're excellent in terms of marketing. They're all over Twitter, all over Facebook. And now they're starting to get some, veteran comic creators on their sites. So, we're sort of hoping to piggyback as eyeballs, drift towards these more established creators. We'll get some eyeballs on our project. But yeah, Blood Run, it started with a serious notion. The thought that we're all in a rat race sometimes. We're juggling different hats. We've got family, we've got our jobs, we've got books we want to create, and sometimes there's a lot of imbalance. So I sort of translated that to a visual format that you've got these crazy characters and different vehicles, and they're all sort of vying for maybe something that doesn't really even matter. But yeah, I was lucky enough to team up with Stefano Cardicelli on this, who's had books out with Caliber and Scout. Yeah, it's it's going to be a great story. 42-page one-shot watercolor. There's his main cover, and then this awesome variant by Ed Bickford, who has sort of a Jack Kirby kind of feel to him. Pretty cool stuff.
No, it looks incredible. You got a video here. You want me to play it?
If you've got 3 minutes to spare, sure, fire away.
Let's
It is a world of desolation, of violence, and pain. Where the race is all that matters. Not for riches. Not for glory. For survival. Action-packed comic book project from award-winning artist Stefano Cardicelli. Written by Evan K. Pozios.
I think I like it. I mean, it is a little bit on the longer side, but yeah, I still like it. I like the art.
Thank you.
My question is, when does the movie come out, and how do I get to be somebody killed in the movie? What do I got to do, bro? Who do I have to give up Calderon's ass to for me to be in a fucking movie?
So, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. But anyway,
bro, you got no cheeks. Even the little dick guys can get all the way the fuck in with you. You know what I'm saying? So I could get good money selling your ass, bro.
so one, you're checking out my ass. Two, like you already know you can't sell yours because it's so big, nobody can get it in. So okay, but anyway, let's move on. Evan, fantastic video, man. Great looking book. That's awesome, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jay.
So, Evan, let me ask: did you put that video together yourself, or did Zoop ask you for the files to do that?
No, actually, I wanted to give a big shout out to my buddy here in Detroit, Mike Heastand. He is an award-winning filmmaker, and he put that together. And actually, the voiceover was by my cousin Andre Carter, who
Nice.
Professional voice actor, and I think he killed it too.
Yeah.
No, he did an awesome job. Wait. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up some of these real quick. Yes, I'm wearing many hats. Let's go back to the last question. Hats will already waste time messaging retailers. I'd rather use that time trying to improve my campaigns. Okay. Larry's at 520 project followers with 11% conversion. Love the Medusa mug. Nice. All right, there's Larry's. Oh no, that's both. Well, everybody's campaigns is in the show notes. So if you go check out the show notes, I have everybody's links on there. So, but thank you, Larry.
Maybe, I don't know. You want to increase that funding goal. You know what I'm saying? You got to sell his.
I don't know. I think there's gonna be a new spot open, guys. Just so you know, there's gonna be a new co-host spot opening up real soon.
Yes, and there will be another tier on his wife's campaign. My husband's ass. That's all. That's all the title for that campaign.
You know, it's funny you keep bringing that up. Is that what your wife is discussing with you for your next tier level?
Bro, listen. She's the boss. I got to do what she says.
Gotcha. Okay. So if you can take it easy, Mr. Rodney, it's your time, sir.
Yes. So here we have Roadkill Rampage 3. And we also have a video, and it's only a minute long. So if you guys want to check it out, let's go ahead and fire that up. And we can look at all the other goodies.
Like it. Yay.
So,
but also a very good editing job on that as well. Very nice.
you know what's funny? It's funny that you say that because Tina and I did that. That was our first ever video.
Nice.
So
You guys did a good job.
Yeah. She's made videos before, but the two of us together, it was our first one, and we didn't kill each other. So that was a bonus.
Oh, watch out! I hear her voice is right there. She'll kill you on camera, bro.
She is right here. I am in her sights. But this has been a really good campaign. We funded in 49 minutes, so that was amazing.
Very good.
That's good.
and we just crossed a $3,200 goal here a couple hours ago. So that's awesome. There's a lot of good stuff in there. We just announced the print incentive with us and Sean and Stephanie Forney for the Scarlet Huntress. If you go back both campaigns, you get that print there, which is one of their characters and one of our characters with the Mothman in there. So if you back both, you get a free color print of that there. If you back it on the physical level, and then we have the backer digital rewards with Adam Fields as Prowl and Travis Gibbs' Voodoo Nation.
Nice.
Oh goodness, sorry. And then there's the story. It's the Tess, the main female character, finally encounters her antagonist, and after 2 issues of tickling your nuts with this and that, you finally get some answers as to what the hell's going on. You don't get all the answers, but you get some answers because you have to come back for issue 4 to find out what's really going on. So, and we have Adam Fields with us for issues 3 and 4 doing the artwork, and there is an example of his process and some of the interior artwork, which is absolutely gorgeous.
Really, really beautiful. I love that.
Doing all the gray washes digitally.
It feels like I'm looking at old Windsor Smith art there.
Yeah, it's
love it.
Yeah, we are very happy with the art this issue. So yeah, I'm kind of dumbfounded and at a loss for how excited I am with it. And just him capturing what's in my head and putting it on paper has just really been amazing.
Nice.
And there's a video of him doing laying down the flats and doing the actual coloring.
Oh, nice.
We don't have to watch it. It's just, if you want to go check it out, check it out. It's pretty quick. And something we just added there is just a how-to on Kickstarters because a lot of people aren't familiar with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a how-to. And there's our cover menu there. We have Sean Forney, Patrick Furmeyer, William Russell, Steph Wilson, and of course Adam Fields does the primary cover. We're doing sketch covers again for this issue.
Cool.
Those are always fun.
Do those work out well? Just selling blanks like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They move. They move.
Cool. I might have to offer that on the next one.
Yeah. Then make it metal. Yeah, you can get any of the covers metal. Metalize it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the catch-up package. You can get all 3 issues. All of the Steph Wilson stuff is sold out, and the blue covers have all sold out.
Cool. Now, do you make are those all limited edition? How big is the edition on those?
Say that again.
The Steph Wilson covers are do you do them as limited edition? And how big is the edition?
Do we have a limited edition on Steph's covers?
They're all of the variant covers are limited edition. They'll be limited numbers based on what you sell.
Okay, yeah, they're all.
The one that's unlimited is Adams.
The only one that's unlimited is Adams. All the other ones are limited, and it's based on what we sell.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
And stuff is still available.
And
it's just that collector set.
Yeah, the Steph's collector set has sold out, but his stuff is still available on the add-ons.
Okay, cool, nice. I see you selling some original art.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it helps, and why not? I've got 30 years worth of original art stacked up here in the studio,
right?
From various projects and stuff. So if it can, people want it. They ask us all the time about it. So yeah, put it up and let's move it.
Cool.
And then we have the retailers packages. And our always popular enamel pens and our metal trading cards.
Nice.
Where do you source your pens from?
A buddy of ours in in Pennsylvania, right? J5? Jay's in Ohio. Yeah, he's right there on the Pennsylvania border. But yeah, it's a friend of ours.
Gotcha.
And then that's issue 1, CGC graded 9.8, available slabbed. And then you can get all the other books available from Haslam Productions, Peanut Pudding and Jelly. That is the trade of the first 4 issues and issues 5 and 6, and then the first 2 issues of Pitter Patter. And then the one-shot Unchained. You know, available as well. And then we reached the holofoil sticker, and we reached the guitar pick. I'm so jazzed. We got the bookmark, Patrick Burmeier's bookmark. We have yet to unlock the other ones, so we're working on it.
You'll make it. You'll make it.
Oh yeah.
Ship it in.
Ship everything in the Geminis.
The dreaded Gemini mailers. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just everybody uses them, so.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, they work, you know.
Yeah,
Oh, no, they do. They do. All right, cool. Nice. Okay, and then we got Love Steph Wilson's artwork. I just discovered Kickstarter this past February because of Brian Polito. I absolutely love it. I backed over 20 campaigns already. Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, it can get addicting. Be careful. That's all I have to say.
Very appreciated, man. Thanks for that.
Yes.
I think all of us appreciate that kind of energy.
Absolutely. And tell everybody that may not be aware about Kickstarter.
Yes. All right, Greg. You want me to play the video?
You can play the first half because that's the cool part, and that's just me and Josh talking. So you don't really need to watch that part.
Okay. Is it really long?
The first half is like a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll do.
Hello, I'm Greg Moquin, writer, creator of Mittens Space Pilot.
And I'm JR Harris, the illustrator and letterer for Mitten.
All right. We got you. You'll talk on your own.
So, yeah. JR did the whole animation for that. He's obviously artist. I did not do that.
That's nice work, JR.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. Hell
Very
yeah,
well
JR.
done.
Good shit.
Yeah, I was going to tell you guys how much I hate you because now I have
Thanks. No.
team on doing a video, but that looked fantastic, man. You guys did a great job.
JR's about to get a whole bunch more bookings.
Man, I tell you, as soon as I opened up animation as something I do, oh boy, that filled up fast.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, once I shared that video, the first time, the final version, there was a bunch of people messaging me, who animated that? And I was like, my artist. They're like, oh, well, I'm going to have to reach out to that guy. I was like, yeah.
Nice.
Go.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
So if you like Star Fox or Guardians of the Galaxy or The Mandalorian, you'll like Mitten Space Pilot. It all became a thing because my girlfriend used to have a cat, childhood cat named Mittens, and I guess when the cat died, there was a shit ton of neighborhood cats that came to her dad's house, and not like 4 or 5 cats. There was like a bunch, and it was like he was a mafia boss of like some cat mafia. So I took that and spun it into a sci-fi adventure comic, and it's my first. It's a comic of like a bunch of firsts. It's our first ever like Project We Love that we ever got. First all ages comic. First comic I didn't put one swear word in it. So yeah, it was a bunch. We unlocked a bunch of stuff already. We have a chibi art sticker, which was made by Hector Barrero. There's a bookmark that Josh did, and the tuna sandwich sticker that Josh did.
I'm sorry, why a tuna sandwich?
In the comic, well, he's a cat, but in the comic, there's a tuna sandwich, and he drops it when he's trying to eat it because it hits an asteroid. So there's a tuna sandwich sticker.
Okay. It's a bit of a joke.
Okay.
There's a magnet that is now an add-on. We actually unlocked a bunch of add-ons, so there's that one. We unlocked a new flash drive reward tier. In the comic, he gets a flash drive, and it has like coordinates to go to like the mission that he's given by Oscar Plotton, the mafia don or whatever of Planet Yarn. And then we unlocked the T-shirt reward tier. I think one person got that so far, and includes a couple other things. So, and also, it's an add-on if you just want the shirt. We are very close to getting the Commissioner Quacker's keychain as an add-on. He isn't in like full color in the comic. It's all that like blue toned in the comic.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a mouse pad, and we're doing a contest on Facebook or whatever to try to get like somebody to make the top text of the meme on that mouse pad, and it's got to like break the fourth wall. He doesn't break the fourth wall in the comic, but we just think it'd be funny if he like somehow breaks the fourth wall doing that. $4,000 goal would be 3 more pages, which is an after credit scene, and I wrote it and I made it a little violent, so Josh changed it.
This is supposed to be an all ages comic, and he comes with me with like a little 3-page epilogue, and it's like a guy getting like tortured and stuff, and I was like, hey Greg, it's an all ages comic, because you know Greg usually works on like mafia type related stuff or like superheroes, a little more aggressive adult books, so we had to pump the brakes a little bit on that.
So he toned that down, but pretty cool. There's a bunch of backer goals, a bunch of PDF comics that people are already getting, and then there's a few more if we unlock those.
Cool.
Yeah. And this is my first comic that was completely finished before we launched the Kickstarter too, so it's doing pretty well.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's always good.
And we went with like originally Greg was like, hey, let's do just like a black and white book, or gray tones, and I had come across a comic book a few years ago where they had done that, but instead of doing gray tones, they did like red tones. And I thought that was like really cool. And as I was kind of doing some concept art, I kind of did this like blue tone, kind of gray tone, and we really liked how that looked. So we're like, let's roll with that to get that like kind of noir but like kind of cool tone in there.
Yeah, if it's going to be in space, it should be the blue cool tone, so it kind of works.
Exactly, yeah. Like the space, the coldness of space really resonates with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the book looks awesome, man. I mean, and this is running. Is it a limited series? How many issues is it running?
I have 3 for this first plot arc, and then there's going to be another 3 after that, and then there'll probably be more after that. So it's going to keep going.
Nice. All right. So, you're gonna obviously do a trade at some point. I would imagine.
Yeah. After the first 3, there's going to be a trade, and then we're going to do the next 3 after that.
Gotcha. Nice. All right, cool. How many days are left? Watch the scroll for the time.
I think it's now 17 days left.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we funded in, it was 5 days, I think.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 5 or something like that.
It was within the first week, yeah.
Who are these two guys? All right, cool. You got 17 days left, 126 backers. You guys are doing awesome. So I mean, yeah, this is really great. Cool. I mean, I think you're gonna blow by through all of your goals. You're gonna have to start making up some more stretch goals.
Yeah, we already did it like twice. So.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, with Mittens, what like? Obviously, you did it because your girlfriend's cat. I mean, what made you change gears or want to change gears there?
I wanted to do a book that wasn't so like aggressively violent, and I just started writing like Mitten's story in 2019. I wrote the first 3 issues in like 2 weeks, maybe not even 2 weeks, and I just kept on writing, and then I shared it to Josh, and he's like, "That looks cool." So then we started working on it.
Well, something that really early on too, like when you sent me the idea for it, I think I did up like a Spaceman Spiff style drawing from Calvin and Hobbes, but with Mittens instead, and that was like, I think that really solidified that like we're gonna make this kind of fun and little like poppy, a little bit more all ages, and because I think even in the script you did have some more aggressive situations that we really toned down the more we really started to get happier with the whole look and style of the book.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm trying to get Joel's thing up because, of course, everybody else's runs nice and smooth, and now I'm up to the last person that's like, giving me a hard time.
I'm complicated. What can I say?
It's just every episode I have at least one where it gives me a hard time. I don't know why this happens.
Building the anticipation.
Uh-oh. Somebody's computer shut down.
There you go. I don't know.
He needs a producer. That's what he needs.
I really do. I really do. Really do. So Rosario,
I thought we pulled it up.
Do your job and ask a question.
Yeah, I'm tapped out of questions. Let's go back to the pizza, hot dogs. What else we got on the food list? All right, I got a question. All right, here's the question. When you guys are stuck at the fucking computer, all right, and you're locked on a concept that you can't like put down into words, what do you eat? I got that. I'm grasping at straws. Pull up Joel's Kickstarter, bro. What the fuck you waiting for? Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Such a good time. You know what? Joe D. McPhee from now on. Joe.
Oh no, Joe. If he's watching, no, I'm back. I'm holding this down. Okay.
He's only saying it because he doesn't like Chicago style pizza. That's it.
Oh, Chicago style pizza sucks fucking balls, bro. Sucks fucking balls, bro. Yo, when you got a fucking pizza like this, the size of a fucking burger, how you gonna enjoy that, man?
All right, enough with the pizza.
At a time.
Listen, you're asking me to ad lib to fill the time. Pull up the guy's fucking campaign, bro. Shit, you had to reboot your computer? Is that it?
I might have to. Well, at least the program. I might have to pull back out and pull back in. So was that here? Here's one for you. This is a question I did want to ask earlier, though.
Here come the strippers.
Yeah. Don't start. I don't want to see any pictures of you. So here's a question I did want to ask. What genres in Kickstarter, right, do you feel sell the best? Right? Because I've been going through this whole process as to like looking through Kickstarter, seeing what's selling best.
Can I go first? Please, can I go first? Yes. Okay. The titty genre. The titty genre sells the best right now on Kickstarter.
Yep.
That's the best-selling genre on Kickstarter.
Tits and ass.
Titties.
Yep.
You got titties. It's selling.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
If Zenoscope was on Kickstarter, none of us would be able to be on that fucking platform at all. None of us would make any fucking money. And this is not a knock. I am not knocking titties. I love titties. You know what I mean? Anybody's making money on titties, way to fucking go. Way to go. But the titty genre is the one making the most money on crowdfunding. What the fuck happened to him? Oh, shit. Does he?
He regrets asking the question.
He was stressing him out. He had to go away.
He's like, nope, I'm out.
So, I mean, I was a bit tongue in cheek, but where are we going to start off with? Who's the next one to lead the pack? Evan, right? You're up. What's the what do you think genre does best on not just Kickstarter, Indiegogo, whatever crowdfunding? Zoop.
Apparently, I mean, the trend seems to be, borderline washed up Hollywood stars. Not gonna give that vibe, to Keanu Reeves, but Berserker killed it, and then Wesley Snipes, has a book out, and I think they're over 100K easy. Right?
Really?
So I don't know. I think maybe you'll start seeing, more, borderline stars jump into that area.
Well, all right. Let me ask you then, since you brought that up, Dan Fogler. I don't know if you guys know the actor Dan Fogler. Bulls of Fury, Fanboys, and he was in the Fantastic Beasts, right? He's the human sidekick. He's been a comic guy for years. Not a lot of people know that. He doesn't trade on that, but he actually has been publishing books for maybe 12, 15 years that I know of. I would see him at New York Comic Con. So what do you say to somebody like that, Evan? Where's the dividing line between somebody like Snipes going for a cash grab, somebody like Boom Studios, using an A-list marquee name to sell the product, and somebody like Dan who's grinding it out like us?
Yeah, I mean, I think the market will dictate, what sells and what doesn't. But I think also, I mean, if you're someone like Dan, you have to slowly build, your personal brand in a new arena. Like we were talking earlier about like getting, books in the hand of retailers. One of the great benefits of going the traditional route and having a publisher that goes through Diamond is, you get eyeballs on your name. I sold 5,000 copies of Silence #1. There's no way I would have done that on a crowdfund, but because of Diamond, got some eyeballs on my name, and then I go ahead and crowdfund, and then repeat the process, get something traditionally published, then go back into crowdfunding. So I mean, everyone has their own strategy, but I think that's the route I'm going.
Okay. Sam, sorry, we're going into it. You figured it out? You figured it out, Calderon?
Yes, it worked out. Thank you. Thank you for being entertained. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate you, Rosario.
I'm sorry, everybody else, that Jose fucked up the night.
Yes, I did. But but the thing, I'm not even gonna go into insulting you right now. So do you want me to play the video first, or do you want me to scroll?
Yeah, you can go ahead and play it.
Nice. Straight to the point.
Yeah, I like it, man.
Huge shout out to David Byrne, who's the writer of Stake and Canceled. He helped out with that video, and it turned out amazing.
Yeah, did a really good job.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
So the Dust County Chronicles started as a horror anthology series that has since shifted over to Nightfall, which is a spin-off following a woman who came to Dust County trying to find her missing sister. And upon doing her own investigation, she soon discovers that her sister is just the most recent of a long string of disappearances that the police seem to be covering up. And through her investigations, she gains some unlikely allies and ends up finding themselves in the lair of the monsters that secretly call Dust County home. So it's got the unique aspect of featuring characters from a collection of short stories that were the original Dust County Chronicles, and now this is the second issue of a 3-issue miniseries, bringing everyone all together for a of horror and survival. We've had a very good campaign. We just unlocked our first stretch goal, which is a prose short story set in Dust County, written by David Byrne. So for the first time, I'm letting someone else who's not me write in this universe. And I'm excited that people get to read that. So excited, in fact, that it's being digitally released to every backer. So even people who pledge $1 get to read it.
Oh, nice.
So this is a bit of information leading, giving a bit of backstory, everything that I just said. One of my favorite things about the series is, like I said, it started with a horror anthology series called the Dust County Chronicles. And the easiest way to pitch that is, what if Toy Story was a slasher?
Oh, wow.
What if Peter Pan required a sacrifice to enter Neverland? Essentially, I took tales that you know and love and threw a horror twist on them and turned them into nightmares. So in the first 2 issues of the Dust County Chronicles, there were 8 short stories that were all self-contained, aside from the fact that they all took place in the same geographic location. So the Dust County Chronicles Nightfall, it takes characters and locations from those original 8 stories and brings them all together, kind of Avengers style.
Very nice.
So as we're going through here, 32-page full color comic with covers by Roman Gubsky, who's our series artist, Joseph Schmolke, and Roland Kellnans.
Cool.
Then here's a preview of the interiors.
Now, where'd you find your artist?
Found him on Facebook, actually. He's been with me since the beginning. This is actually my first campaign back in almost just over 2 years, actually. The last Dust County campaign was Nightfall #1, and that was pre-pandemic. So after everything started with the pandemic, and then I had a son who's now 1.5 years.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I've actually been sitting on this art for about 1 year, but through my lettering work and everything with the family, it kept getting pushed back and kept getting pushed back. But I actually brought on a buddy of mine, Travis Gibb, to help manage the campaign. So he's come on as project manager, essentially just giving me support when it comes to communications, because being a stay-at-home dad working in comics while also watching my son, I didn't want my backers to think that I had started ignoring them, especially after so long away. So he's been instrumental in helping keep the communication up.
Yeah, no, Travis was a great guy.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So these are the different pledge levels, different ways to get all of the variant covers as well as catch up on the older books. You can catch up on just Nightfall, or if you want all 4 issues of the Dust County Chronicles throughout. And then this is a variant cover bundle for Nightfall #1 and the current issue, Nightfall #2, as well as a variant cover bundle for all 4 issues thus far. We've had cover artists by Alex Cormack, Chris Mad, Man, so many. This is actually a really unique feature that we added with this campaign. It's Joel's favorite Gone Metal, and it's all 4 issues. I picked one cover, and we're printing it in metal. So for issue number 1, the cover was by Riccardo Ficini. Dust County Chronicles number 2 is the one we're looking at here by Chris Madd. And then the Dust County Chronicles Nightfall number 1 is by Alex Cormack. And then the current issue is Joseph Schmolke.
Nice.
Then here's a bundle for all 4 of the medals. So by getting this bundle, you're not only getting 4 medals, but you're getting the entire series as a catch-up tier.
Cool.
And then we've got some premium tiers. This one actually just went yesterday. It was getting drawn into the issue, into the next issue, since the current issue is completed. And then we had the original art for the Schmolke cover, but that just went as well. And then this is the coup de grace of let's get everything. This is every variant cover that we've had, every special printing, including what I call the Nightmare in Midnight editions, which were the Dust County Chronicles number 1 and the Dust County Chronicles Nightfall number 1, printed in entirely black and white, including the cover. So it takes it back to that old school horror feel.
Cool.
And then going back to our retailer conversation, these are bundles for retailers.
Have you been having success with the retailer levels?
We've had a few. I haven't been reaching out to many retailers myself, but the collective definitely supported. They're fantastic. And these are a couple of the add-ons that we're offering, including a crossover cover with Stake. That is the Stake number 1 Kickstarter, as well as Nightfall number 1, showing our characters facing off. We also have a letterer bundle, which is a copy of Stake number 1, or Stake Volume 1, which I lettered, and the first issues of 3 comics from Merc Publishing, all of which I lettered. That's Miss Meow number 1, Death Rage number 1, and Born of Blood number 1. And then you can also get the medals a la carte. There's a writer bundle with anthologies that I have written in, including Cthulhu Invades Oz and Cthulhu is Hard to Spell. And then the next 2 are collector's edition bags that were offered for the first 2 Dust County Chronicles campaigns.
Cool.
And then these are artist bundles with Alex Cormack and Brian Silverbacks. And then the Nightfall number 1 collection has every cover from the first issue of Nightfall. And then this is just information about me and the rest of the team. Roman Gubsky, the artist, our editor, Andrea Molinari, our other editor and video producer, David Byrne. He's also the one writing that new short story. Creative consultant, my wife, who tells me if anything that I wrote is stupid.
Very important.
The wife is the best creative consultant out there. Any spouse will know how to tell you, shut the hell up and move on.
Oh, without a doubt. She is not afraid of hurting my feelings, and I am all the better because of it.
Absolutely. I will third that.
So then we had Travis Gibb, the project manager, Joe Schmolke, who I've worked with plenty with our cover, and then variant cover, and then Roland Kellman as well with variant cover.
Okay, cool. Very nice. So you said it took you 2 years to put out this one. What are you looking at for issue number 3?
It is already written, so I just have to get it to Roman to draw, and then it definitely will not take 2 years. So we have one more issue to put out in the series, and then we're going to do trade. So I would say maybe a year. We like spacing it out. I'm primarily a letterer, so I have to prioritize my work there because it pays the bills. Dust County is a passion project, and it's definitely a passion project that I am going to be completing. It's actually the reason that I'm in comics as a career, because the Dust County Chronicles #1 was not only the first thing that I had written, but it was the first thing that I lettered. And moving on from that, I've made an entire career out of lettering, so it has become the passion project that was the catalyst for everything. And I definitely have to finish it. It's going to be maybe a year or sooner for the next issue, definitely not 2. And then following that, like I said, we're doing the trade.
Awesome.
All right, cool.
It all looks really, really cool, really creepy.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that. I have written stuff in there that even disturbed me. I was like, oh man. There's a fun story that I like to tell with the Dust County Chronicles #2. That was the first issue where I gave people the opportunity to be drawn in, and one of the people that wanted to be drawn in was a really good friend of mine. And I was racking my brain on this story, trying to figure it out. And my friend was the main protagonist in the story. And I'm trying to figure it out. And then eventually it just hits me and I start writing. I went into the flow, didn't even know what I was writing. So I finished the script and I read through it and I sent it to him and I said, hey man, so this is what I'm writing. Let me know if this is too twisted for you and I'll write something else. Luckily, he liked it and it's published, and I'm really happy for that because it is one of my favorite stories that I've ever written. But yeah, I wrote that story. It's called The Toy Box, and it's in the 2nd issue of Dust County. I love that story, but even that one kind of freaked me out.
Listen, it's not necessarily a bad thing to be freaked out by your own work.
Yeah, I mean, I always find if you go with your gut, your initial thought on a story or subject matter and run with it, it's going to be the most solid thing you're going to come up with.
I found the only time that I've ever had writer's block was when I was fighting my gut.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll definitely do it. Gentlemen, we're at the 2-hour mark, so thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Let me put up this. Oh, well, Sam said nice video. I don't know whose video he's talking about. All the videos are nice, though. I mean,
yes,
guys,
I agree.
Yeah, I hate all of you. Fantastic work. It's gonna take. Anyway, so she was born and tit starter. There you go.
There you go.
Yep. All right. So, gentlemen, like I said, you guys are fantastic. So, for everyone who's been watching, show notes has all the links to all the different campaigns. So go check them out. Go support all the campaign. Listen, I don't think we got a dud in the lot. I mean, I think all the books look incredible, which is congratulations to all of you, man. I mean, fantastic. The only time I usually have a problem is when this guy has a campaign run. I got to put up his thing. Jesus. Anyway, so hey, listen, I owed him for the ass thing.
No.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. And let's start with Joel. Please let everybody know where they can find you and your work, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a blast as always. You can find me on Facebook at Metal Ninja Studios and on my website at metalninjastudios.com. And then you can also find the Kickstarter at dustcountychronicles.com.
Cool. Rodney?
Hey guys, you can find me on Instagram at Rodney_Fyke. That's Fyke. You can find me on Facebook at Rodney Fyke Art. You can find me on Twitch, the same. And you can find me at Hazm website. That's HAZZUM.com. That's the home site for all of our titles. And you can also see me Thursdays and Friday nights on Thursday night Throwdown or Friday night Draw, 8 o'clock Eastern with Sean Forney and myself, as we draw and talk all things nerdy from 8 o'clock till about 9 or 9:30.
Nice.
You can find me mostly on Facebook and Twitter. You can check out Time Grunts and Harvest of Horrors 2 either on Amazon or CaliberComics.com. You might still be able to find issue 1 of Silence in your local comic book shop. And, of course, check out Blood Run on Zoop.
Yes. Nice. Josh?
Yep, you can find me on Facebook under Josh Harris or Instagram, Twitter at JR Comic Arts or my website, jrcomicart.com.
Nice. Greg?
You find me on SierraNovaComics.com or Sierra Nova on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitch, and YouTube, all that.
Nice. Mr. Rosario?
All right. You can find me at unstoppablecomics.com. All social media links can be found on unstoppablecomics.com. And over there, you can pick up any of our trades, free shippings, things like Shield of the Interceptor, Unstoppable Origins, Dragonstorm, the Character Guide, and Storm Chaser #1. All are free shipping at unstoppablecomics.com.
Yeah, and despite what I said earlier, he does all right.
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes. It's better to look at his work than him. That's all I think.
I gotta agree with that.
All right. So thank you, everybody. My name is JD Calderon. I can be found on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of the JD Calderon, DeviantArt, the OswaldChronicles.com, TallTalesOnline.com. And that's it. And I'll see you guys next weekend. Guys, you did a fantastic job. Like I said, awesome books. They all look incredible. Thank you.
Thank you, JD.
Have a good night, guys.
Take care, everybody.